Hello everyone. In last lecture we have seen the different tools that we required to create the forensic duplication disk and what are the characteristics it requires that we have discussed in a earlier lecture. So also we discussed the DD and DCFL DD tool. And also we have seen ODD, that is Open Data Duplicator tool, to create the hard disk duplication. Then also we discuss creating qualified forensic duplicate of hard drive using different tools like Ncase, then SafeBack tool. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the what are the different data operation performed on a file, that is encryption and compression. So let's begin. So first point is encryption. A few criminals are becoming smarter, so the data hiding techniques, which included encryption and stenography, the evidence of criminal activity is placed in such way that traditional search method cannot be able to find out. So we know about the encryption and stenography also, where the plain text is converted into different format so that the user cannot read that content. So this is the encryption, and whenever we apply some search technique on it, we cannot find the particular file or a particular text because it's in an encrypted format, that is not readable format, so no one can get that content. And one more thing is stenography. In stenography, the message is stored in either audio files or in a picture file, so that no one come to know about the data. So these are the different way using that the hacker hide your data, or hacker make your data unavailable. So first technique is encryption, scrambling data, for example email message, so that it cannot be readable to the interceptor. Many publicly available programs permit the users to create the virtual encrypted disk, which are opened by selected key. It's not possible to read the encrypted data without the key. So the encryption is thing when the hacker attack on a system. At that time, if the attacker gets your email data, at that time the hacker either delete that data or make it in encrypted format so that no one can read your email files, and it is difficult to get that data back using the encryption tool. Also there is a possibility to create the virtual encrypted disk. Virtual encrypted disk means where the data is in encrypted format, and to decrypt it we use the particular key, and whenever the user use the particular key, at that time only the user can view that data. So this is known as the encryption. When you encrypt a file, only contents of the file get encrypted, but the name of the file, size and the timestamps are unencrypted. So whenever we create the encrypted file, at that time the only content get encrypted, not the file size, type and the timestamp get encrypted. So whenever the user attack on the system, at that time if the user create the encrypted file, at that time forensic toolkit, using forensic toolkit we get that file, or we come to know it's affected by the hacker. Okay, it is possible to build the parts of the content of the file from other locations such as the swap file, temporary files, and deleted unencrypted copies. So if the contents are encrypted, but using the type of the file, name of the file, and size, timestamp, using this information, the forensic team will get that file back, because it may be available in a temporary file location or deleted file locations, or unencrypted copies are available. In a computer forensic, many encryption programs with extra function makes the investigation difficult. Few function included use the key while then plausible deniability, and full volume encryption. So if the user use the encryption program to encrypt the data, at that time the forensic team get difficulty to find that data because it's an encrypted format and it's very difficult to crack the algorithm that use for the encryption. And the second way is stenography. In stenography, it is nothing but hiding the message into larger file, typically in a photographic image or sound file. The stenography has the capability. Okay, stenography is a image. It is nothing but the building the message into larger file, typically in a photographic image or sound file. Stenography has the capability of disrupting the forensic process when used correctly. So stenography is the process the where we can keep our data in a larger file like a photographic image or sound file, so no one can get that data easily. If it is if the user get that image file, then it cannot view that data because it's in a binary structure, so it's very difficult to get. In a computer forensic, to preserve the data evidence, MD5 is used for the data integrity, and CryptCat is used to encrypt the data. It's just a minute. And CryptCat is used to encrypt the data which is transferred via net. So there are different tools used for the stenography and file encryption. That are first one is MD5, and second one is the CryptCat. Next one is the data compression. So whenever we compress the data using the different tools like WinZip, LZip, or WinRR, so it's difficult to get to the forensic toolkit. Many computer users the use compression tools like WinZip, LZip, WinRR. These are the widely used compression tool and support many compressed format. These tools are mainly used for the archive process. So these are the tool used to create the archive file. Whenever the file size is more, to compress it, we use such type of tools. Or whenever we get some data on internet or on email, and that is in a compressed format, we can uncompress it using this tool. So deplet algorithm is the main compression algorithm for WinZip and LZip and LZip. The WinRR uses a modified version of deplet algorithm. So for compressing the file, the WinZip LZip use the depleted algorithm to make the file compressible, and WinRR use the modified version of deplet algorithm. Next one, for example, .zip, .gz, and .lz are the extension of given compression algorithm which use the deplet data compression algorithm. So these are the extension of the compression file that used to make the file in a compressed mode. The dual algorithm for decompression is known as the inflate. Since the deplete and inflate algorithms are common among the compression utilities, these are used for damaged compressed file recovery methodology. So for for creating the compressed file, the WinRR, WinZip use the deplete, and to decompress it, they use inflate. And these algorithms are common among the compression utilities, and these are used to damage the compressed file recovery methodology. So if the hacker attacks on a system and make your files in compressible mode, then uh, then we can use the different recovery method to decompress that data. Next one is automated search technique. The searching techniques are used to find out whether a given type of object, such as hacking tools or picture specific type, are there in the collected information. So here uh, here the forensic team use the different search techniques to find out the data which reside on a computer at the time of hacking. So there are different ways to get that data. Basically there are two types. First one is the manual browsing and second one is the automated searches. Manual browsing is very common, where we manually search whether the new file is available or whether the different types of different extension files are available. So that are checked using manual browsing. And there is another way to search the content or search the file, that is keyword search, regular expression search, approximate matching search, custom search, and search of modifications. So these are the different ways using that the forensic developer or forensic team perform the searching operations. So let's see one by one. First one is the First one is the manual browsing. In manual browsing, the forensic analyst browses gathered information and selects the object of preferred type. So whatever the forensic analyst want to search, like objects or preferred type, that first the forensic analyst first find out that the things what he want to gather. The single tool is used in manual browsing is a watcher of some type. It makes the data object, for example, file decodes and it gives the result in a human compressible form. So there is a single tool that used in a manual browsing is a watcher, where one search box is presented and we write the content over there, and there is a search button available. When user click on that search button, it searches the particular file or the particular type of file that is entered in a search box. So this is the watcher. It also decode the code and find the result in a human readable format. Manual browsing is the time consuming and slow, as there are large amount of data gathered in a maximum investigation. So manual browsing is a slow method because it browses the large amount of data. It's a time consuming method because large amount of data is available on hard disk and it's very difficult to find out using the watcher technique. So next one here we end the first technique, that is manual browsing. Then we start with the second, that is automated search. In that, first one is the keyword search. Keyword search is very common method, where we find out the hello where we find out the keywords, where we enter the keywords and find the text, or find the particular type of the file from the hard disk. Keyword search is an automatic search of a digital information that consists of the specific keywords. So we have the keyboard box, or we have the text box. In that we enter the keywords, and there is a search method that is used to search the content. So it's a easy and widely used technique and speed up the manual browsing. The output of the keyword search excuse me output of the keyword search is the list of the found data object. So whenever we enter some text in a text box and we try to find out the list of the files that match to the content will available there, and we can go through it and check whether that particular data we want or not. So there are two problems with the keyword search. First one is the false positive and second one is the false negative. So in false positive, the keyword searches do not precisely gives the required type of data objects. Due to this, output keyword search can have the false positive. It means the objects that do not belong to the specific type, even though they contain the specific keywords. Forensic analyst has the browser keywords searches data objects manually false positive. So in false positive, whenever we try to find out at that time the files that actually not contain the data, but some keywords are matches over there and it shows in a search result. So this is known as the false positive, where we cannot get the actual data. Next one is the false negative. False negative means there are objects of given type, but they are missed by search. The search utility cannot correctly interrupt the data object, then it result in a false negative. This may happen due to encryption, compression, or lack of ability to the search utility to the interpreter new data. So in false negative, the data is available, but it may be in a different format. That is, it may be encrypted, it may be stenography, it may be compressed, or our algorithm technique is not good to find out the particular things. So this is known as the false negative. In false positive, the data is not present there, but it find out something. That is known as the false positive. And in false negative, the data is present over there, but we can't. The tool cannot find out because of the data is in modified format like encryption compression. Okay, so it set one to select the words and phrases highly precise to the objects of the required type, like particular names, address, bank account number, etc., and give every possibility variation of those words. So to make the search technique, automated search technique more effectively, use the appropriate keywords over there. So you can find out the or you can get the correct result from it. Okay, so next one is the regular expression search. Regular expression search gives a more expressively language for describing the object interest than the keywords. A regular expression is the extension of the keyword search. RE searches are also used to specify the search for email address and files of precise type. So in regular search, instead of using the plain keyword, we use the regular expression. For example, tuple sign, exclamatory sign, question mark sign, at the rate sign, exclamatory sign, and pointer. So these are some regular expression characters that we can use to find out the particular patterns. So it defines the pattern. For email, it's a different pattern. For phone number, it's a different pattern. For so everything. Every special character or every regular expression character has special meaning. So using that we can find out the text. Generally it is we have seen last year in validation, the regular expression validation, maybe you remember that. So whenever we want to find out whether the given email is valid or not, for that we use such type of regular expression, and the regular expression strings are generated, and that we use to find the find in validation. So this is the one of the way to search the content of a file effectively. Encase tool is used to perform regular expression searches, as not all type of data can be sufficiently described using regular expression like keyword searches. It also result in false positive and false negative. So it's more effective than keyword searches, but there are some restrictions. Using regular expression, we cannot specify the type of file or particular extension, that we cannot mention there. We just give the file name and we use some regular expression string to find out the files. And it also has the disadvantage of false positive and false negatives. So let's move to the next method. So approximate matching search. Approximate matching search is an expression of regular expression search matching algorithm. These algorithms, it uses the matching algorithm. These algorithms allow character mismatch while searching from keywords. So it's a better way than the searching using searching technique. So it will help to find out the matching patterns. So if the some pattern get matched, then it shows the result on output screen. So this is the one of the method used to search. Here the user has to specify the degree of mismatch allowed. This search dissects the misspelled words, but it gives the mismatches and raises the number of false positives. The agree is used to approximate search. So using this technique, If we enter wrong text or the text misspelled by us, then also it find out it then also it correct the text and find out the appropriate file. So this is the better option than the searching manually or searching by using keywords. And a grep algorithm is used to find out the approximate search. Next one is the uh, custom searches. The regular expression have the limited expressiveness. The programs are written for the more complex searches. For example, filter one tool from the technology INC. This tool is used heuristic procedure to find out the full names of the person in the gathered information. Filter one tool also suffers from the false positive and false negative. So the custom searches is used the filter technique where we can categorize the data and find the exact data from the given hard disk data. So here we use the technique of filter. So if the searches is more complex, then we can use such type of technique, custom searches. Then next one is the search of modification. Search modification is used for the data objects have been modified since the specific instant in the past. The modification of the data object are not frequently, such as the operating system utilities. These utilities detected by the comparing their current hash with their expected hash before the search library of the expected hash is filled. So this is the one of the way to using that we can get the modification of the data objects. That means if the file get modified by performing some operation on it, then also we can get that file using the search of modification method. Before that we have to created the hash files of a given file. So whenever we do the search modification, at that time it compare the hash files result. So if it is matched, then the file is not modified. If it is not matched, then file is modified. Some tools for building the libraries of expected hashes are given in the file hashes. Modification of file can likewise be constructed from adjustment of its timestamp. Albeit conceivable in the many cases, this adjustment is the circumstance. Investigators assume that a file constantly modify concurrently with its timestamp, and since the timestamp is adjusted, he induces that the file was changed as well. This type of event reconstruction. So some of the time or the some of the hackers use the timestamp method. So in timestamp, the file name is modified with the particular time. So in this method, the uh, investigator assume that the file is constantly modified and concurrently timestamp, and since the timestamp is adjusted, he can come to know whether the file get changed or it's not changing. So this is the last way. Forensic softwares. One, two, three. Okay, here we end. So today here we end this session. Today we have discussed the different search techniques like automated searches and manual searches. We have seen some automated search methods. Okay, so here we end this session. Tomorrow we are going to discuss some new points of cyber forensic. If you find any difficulty, let me know. दामिनी दामिनी फिजा हेमंगी काय इश्यू आहे का आजच्या लेक्चर संदर्भात? अनम्यूट व्हा आणि बोला फटाफट. का तुम्ही अवेलेबलच नाहीये इथे? दामिनी, फिजा, हेमांगी, महिमा, प्रणाली, रुपाली. ओके, हो सौरभ, तुझं नाव घेताच तू बोललास. सौरभ समजते का काय? हॅलो. ओके, नक्की का? शिवम नांडेकर, काय डाऊट आहे का? महिमा, काय समजत नसेल तर विचारा. सब्जेक्ट पूर्ण थेरॉटिकल आहे, पण तुम्ही इझिली कव्हर करू शकता. ओके, चालेल. ठीक आहे, आपण सेशन एंड करू. जर काय डिफिकल्टी असेल तर विचारा. ओके, हे सेशन झालेले आपण पुन्हा कव्हर अप करणार नाही आहोत. त्यानंतर आपण डायरेक्ट नेक्स्ट चॅप्टरच डायरेक्ट सुरू करणार आहोत. दामिनी, काय म्हणायचंय तुला? ओके, चालेल, मग आपण स्टॉप करूया मीटिंग. थँक्यू फॉर वॉचिंग.